Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 traps which Indian middle class get into and these people avoid. Friends, this is very important for all of you. India has a population of around 145 crores, let's say. Out of that, 30% of the population about is in middle class, which is about 5 to 20 lakhs or 5 to 25 lakhs per annum of income. And they remain middle class. Slide from middle class to poor category and they don't go up. So what are the traps? Those are interesting things to know and how we can get out of the traps. So please remain engaged to this video, see till end. I'm sure this is going to help you enormously. This is going to make you a rich person and can create a mindset in you which is going to go a long way in your life. So let's get going. So the first thing we like to see, we all want that our children should be educated, they should have good educations and all those. And we spend a lot of money on education, we give a lot of priority on education. That's very good because investing in education is primarily investing in Indian growth actually. From that perspective, it is very important. But you know what happens? Whatever education we give, we put them in a rat race. We teach them how they score the highest in the class. We don't focus on the process, we focus on the outcome. What I mean here is, whether it is 95%, 97%, 99%, that becomes our goal. If the child slides, sometimes we sort of like reprimand him that why your neighbor's child got better than you. Friends, that is the biggest mistake we do. Second thing we do, we use his intellect in terms of education, technical education. Let us say the child is going to get into engineering, then we get him ready for IT. Solving those problems are tough. And the real problem for life is financial education, which we never educate our child. And unfortunately, if you yourself is not educated in financial education, you will never ever put your child on that track. I'm not saying that he should start learning commerce from day one, but he should develop a mindset which is good for him and which get him ready for outside world. Let us say many times an engineer graduating from IIT, he becomes investment analyst. Now, can we do at least the little things like uh, in the beginning itself, the type of exposure we give him in terms of reading daily paper, let him read papers like Economic Times. It has also got political news. It also has general news or paper like Mint. So it has all the coverage. It has like Mint particularly is in line with Wall Street Journal. So it has got some international news also, international topic also. So child may be very much interested. He may ask you some question and that is the way we generate his interest actually. So first trap is trap of education, I call it. So trap of education is what? Like we normally tell him to education trap. We get him ready for IIT, IIMs and whatnot, IIT, IIMs, etc. We get ready him, but ignore financial education. Financial education we ignore completely. This is not good. So these people on their table, they discuss about their investment. They discuss about what are the options and all those. So as a result, what happens? Eventually, when the child grows, his mind is getting ready for investing. His mind is getting ready for that type of situation. So that's very important, friend. What is the second trap? The style which we have. So when I say style, I'm talking about, let's say, lifestyle. Now, let's take a situation where a person, he gets into a job and he is making around, let's say, 50K per month. Now, he has worked very hard. This is the first job for him. His office is, let's say, about 10 kilometers. He goes to office and he has to come home. So he used to take 200 rupees, let's say, cab per day. The 200 into 30, about 600 rupees per month. But he gets into a peer pressure. He starts getting into a situation where he thinks, oh, he has to show to the society that I'm better than others. I am also rich. Although he's earning 50K, he gets into that trap. So he wants to buy a good car. Let's say he invests 12 lakhs in the car. He obviously doesn't have money. So what he does, he will get to a sort of, he buys the car at 12 lakhs. So this he finances using EMI. Now his EMI on 12 lakhs for 5 years. Let's say do a very quick Google search that will give us some idea. EMI for 12, 5 years, EMI on 12 lakhs for 5 years. Let's see what Google says. And this is about 12 lakhs, about 24,000. So here he has a EMI of 24,500 per month. So now look at, out of 50,000, almost 50% of his salary goes in EMI. So friends, this is small mistake he has made, and by doing this, he has incurred EMI of this one. So this is what I call lifestyle. Second thing in lifestyle happens is in terms of overspending using credit card. Buying phones, etc. on EMI. Let's say he's married and his wife asks for a phone which is a very expensive phone. He doesn't have money, obviously. So he buys that, or he sees that, 1,500 rupees per month EMI. So 1,500 rupees per month EMI, he can buy the phone. Now, this doesn't stop here. The desire continues and he's in a trap completely. Whereas rich people or rich mindset, what they do? They earn first, they save first. And then once your saving becomes sufficient, that time you will spend. That time you will really start enjoying the life. And believe me, spiritually also it is said that you can never ever control your desire, because one desire gets fulfilled, other comes in. So always you need to do busting of what you have, and accordingly you should plan your expenditure. If you don't do that, you will go in that trap and that will continue. Third is focus. Let's look in terms of focus. The rich mindset or rich people, their focus is on income. So and poor people or middle class, their focus is on expenses. So what they do is, here they keep on saving penny things in expenses, saving small stuff in expenses. Whereas the rich people, what they do is, they always look for alternate options, alternate avenues. And the moment you do that, what will happen is you will get ideas. So they always look at something which what we call is passive income. It could be, you have to start small, but it will grow. You knowing, you start putting a small money in certain investment, over a period of time it will grow and zap you completely. It will be so big that you will not realize how it has happened. So this is the fundamental mindset difference between rich and poor. The fourth one is in terms of living. Like when you see most of us, when you start working as a middle class person, the first thing we do is we start thinking that we should own a house. So what do we do? Own a house. Now owning a house versus renting. Whereas rich people, you always go for renting, and poor people go about owning. Now, how it happens? Initially, you don't have enough money. Although I know that having a house gives it psychological situation, psychological comfort, but you are not able to, because you have extra money, you can invest elsewhere and you can earn more. If you start doing that, then you will be rich subsequently. But poor people, they always own a EMI. And then let's say 50,000 or 1 lakh salary, you buy a house of let's say 1.25 crore and you land up a EMI here, again EMI, of this EMI becomes let's say 70K per month. Now imagine, even though you have 1.5 lakhs, this goes as a house itself. So what we are doing? The same thing you could have done it with a rent of, lower rent of let's say 30K or something. So this is the fundamental difference. I have a friend of mine who has become a very good business person. He pays about 1.5 lakhs rent in Bombay, and that house may cost about 5 crores. So I asked him why you are not having your own house. He said, look, whatever extra money I have, I'm putting in business, and that will make more money. I'll buy a house at some point in time, either around 40, 45 years or near to 50 years. So that's the mindset. That is the difference you see between rich and poor. The final point which I like to tell you here, in terms of riskiness, the poor people, is a world of app. So poor people get trapped with app, what I call it, app culture. So whatever happens, the Google, they look at the app. And you see today, you will have a lot of people luring you, the so-called fintech. You put so much of money, I'll give you guaranteed 12% return. You are not told what is inside, and you get into that trap. And as a result, what happens is, you drain out your savings. You drain out completely and you don't know what to do. So friends, whereas rich people, they don't get into trap. They have diversified portfolio of income. They don't have diversified portfolio. They have various sources of income. They understand risk reward. So let's say, just to tell you, they will configure their portfolio in such a way that their risk reward curve will be very interesting. Like they certainly have invested in different investment, different in risk investment class. Let's say this is risk and this is reward. So, you will have asset like this. Now, some assets they will have here like fixed deposit, or they don't do fixed deposit anytime, maybe liquid fund or something. And then maybe some equity fund, there could be some assets which may be here, some assets may be here. So, by doing this, what they have is they have a balanced portfolio. They create a balanced portfolio. Whereas we get into a trap of app culture. Like many apps saying, I give you 12% guaranteed return and we get lured. We don't know where this guaranteed return goes and what this guarantee means. I tell you my own story. Sometime back, about a couple of years back, there was a culture of sort of like loan, P2P loan, peer-to-peer loan. So there's an app where you put some money and they give loan to a number of people, a small amount. That interest comes and they appeared very interested. That P2P loan example I'm giving you of my own, it appeared to give you 17% return, which appeared very tempting. So I put some 2 lakhs rupees here. Obviously, this was not all the money which I put there, a very small fraction of my income. I got interest for about a year or so. After that, I had not recovered even my principal. This whole thing vanished. It was an unsecured loan, and the company, P2P company, could not collect the loan, and this whole thing became a bad debt. My capital becomes zero. So this is the trap, friends. So you have a hard-earned money. You should never really, I'm not saying don't trust them, but before putting your all saving there or putting your substantial saving there, you should be thinking a lot. A relative of mine sometime back approached me, and that person has put a substantial life saving in Sahara deposits. You know what has happened with Sahara? Some 50 lakhs, which is big money for that person. And that person is struggling today to recover that money. I don't know how much he's going to. Government has done something, sold Sahara assets, put out a portal. They have registered. I advise him to register, but registering also doesn't guarantee when or what he will get. He might get a small proportion. He may not get anything. So friends, these are some of the traps, 5 traps which I talked to you. Education, style, lifestyle. Third, I said focus on income versus expenses. Fourth, I said rent versus owning your property. And fifth, I said risk management. Apart from this, when you say risk management, this area itself, the poor people, they say insurance, why should I do? Nothing comes. And one time if there's a big incident or accident happening in your life, will dread you out completely. That's the impact. So, but rich people, they don't do that. They buy insurance, they understand what is the risk, they ensure that this is for just taking care of, and they also take loan, unlike you. They take business loan. Have you ever thought about Anil Ambani? If you look at Anil Ambani, there was a news that he has become bankrupt. Go and look at his lifestyle. His lifestyle has not changed. So you know what they do? We have a concept of LLP or concept of private limited company. So the company and personal, these two they segregate. They take loan in company, not in person. They understand the legal implications of the country and they manage their things accordingly. So even though business goes bankrupt, their personal wealth does not erode. Whereas poor people, they do everything on their personal wealth. So therefore, education in finance is a must for you. And therefore, friends, you must learn something, go to different courses which are available, spend some time. You may be engineer, you may be a technocrat, but knowing a little bit of finance is very, very essential. And if you don't do that, suffering will continue. You will remain middle class, your family will slide down to a lower class and so on and so forth. So I think in this short video, I have given you some pointer, the traps which the middle class people get into, and I hope you will certainly look into it and follow a few of them. If you are doing it, I'm sure you are better off. If you are not, spend time and get out of this trap by budgeting, by proper planning, by doing activity, by consulting someone, by studying, and I'm sure your life will be much better. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you like this video. If you like the video, please do press the like button. Distribute this to your friends, to your colleagues, so that they can benefit out of this. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your time. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.